Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Tania Gustafson, nutritionist and fitness coach with Fit Nutrition, your serial nutritionist, here to help you learn the trick to eating and balancing your Halloween treats because that's coming up on Monday, right? So I'm sure if you're like me, you've bought that box of Halloween treats and you're hiding it away somewhere so your family doesn't go through it before the trick-or-treaters get to the door. And probably maybe a few of you have undone that box and had a little few treats yourself just to sample, because they're just those tiny little guys, which is actually the perfect size if you're going to have a treat. So what do you do when you got that sweet tooth and there's all that candy around and either you want to have some or, for sure your kids are going to want to have some and they're going to be wanting to dive into that right when they get home after you've checked that candy or even on the way if they're, getting their favorite ones from the neighbors and people that they know and they just want to dive in and eat it all. What do you do to prevent the kids from being so hyper and not sleeping that night and just stuffing their faces full and just feeling sick later and for yourself too. If you're the one at the door handing out all the candy, sometimes it's one for the trick-or-treaters and one or two for the person at the door. So how do you prevent that sugar spike and the fat storage that comes with it and still have a little bit of treats and a little bit of fun on Halloween? So here we go. We're back to the basics. PFC every 3. So staying on plan, making sure that you're eating your proteins, your fats, your carbs together every 3 hours throughout the day. That's going to keep your blood sugar stable all throughout the day. So keeping a good baseline for those days when you're going to have those off-plan times is crucial because your body's going to like to know it's balanced and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel regulated all through the day. So for those times when you're not, it's not quite as big of a deal for you. So then when you do go to have that candy and those Skittles, that little chocolate bar, whatever it is that's your favorite, make sure you're going to have some protein with it. Have it after a meal or have it with some protein. So I used to work at a school actually, and we implemented that in one of the classrooms that I worked in for grade 1, the teacher, and I told the class that you can have your Halloween treat if you bring some protein to have with it. Wow, did they ever learn pretty quickly what PFCs every 3 is all about? And let me tell you, it made a world of difference in the behavior, in the calmness, and in the nutrition that was coming in their lunch. Seriously, because they weren't allowed to just bring handfuls of Halloween treats. They had to now balance every one of them with some protein, and it worked just wonderfully. So same goes for you. So when you're looking to have that little treat, take a look at what's in your fridge. You might want to have hard-boiled egg or something with it. You might want to have, or before, you might want to have a stick of pepperoni and then have that. And you just look for those proteins that are your favorite, or have your little treat as your dessert for dinner. So have your lean protein, your salad, your steamed veggies and everything, and then have that as your dessert because there's going to be fat in it. So if you have it with your lean protein, say your chicken or your turkey, bison, something like that, you've already had that nice, lean, good quality protein. Have your steamed veg in your salad, awesome quality carbs. That's important too when you're thinking about going off plan and having something that's of really, really poor quality. Then you want to make sure that the other food items that you're eating in that meal and in that day are really getting up there and consciously choosing the higher quality items because it's going to serve your body well. You're going to nourish your body at a cellular level. You're going to keep those cells nourished, and that's what keeps us satisfied, and then the balance keeps us stable. So you want to be both, okay? So thinking of good quality proteins and carbs and fats to put in your body, and then when you're having the treat, you're going to have your really good quality proteins, your kind of no-count carbs, because your candy is always your carb, right? Even though it's got some fat in it, it is always going to be your carb. Anything that comes in a package, a box, a bag, a wrapper, a can, a container of any sort that has multiple ingredients on it, you can bet your bottom dollar that the majority of the count in it is a carb. And if you just read the little labels on the box, you will see anything with high sugar has high carbs. Anything that's in a wrapper that's readily digestible into your body, it's high carbs, and that's when the sugar spike happens. So say those little treats, have them for after your dinner. Don't just have them in the middle of the day when you're craving something and you're starving and that's the only thing around. Make sure then that you put something good and nourishing with it. So have, a small handful of nuts, have that stick of pepperoni, have that, piece of turkey jerky or something like that with it, or the hard-boiled egg, then have the treat. And you will find that your blood sugar will be stable. It's not the best quality carb in the world. Obviously, we all know that. But when you're having it in conjunction with the good quality foods, you will keep your blood sugar stable. You'll avoid that headache later on, that spike and crash, that sort of irritability feeling and the kind of yawns at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon that some of us experience when we do that. And that is why we do that, is because our blood sugar went up and it came straight back down. And that's just not a place that's very comfortable. It's not a place you want to be in. Besides, you've stored fat and then you're crashing and then you have no energy for the rest of the day. And chances are your choices for the rest of the day, if you do that, are going to be less favorable, shall we say, than they would be if you had been paying attention to begin with, still enjoyed the treat, but paired it with something that will keep it balanced, because then your energy level is still the same, your mood is still good, and you're feeling great about yourself because you know you put something nourishing with something that's not, and then you're going to be more likely to make better choices as the day goes on. So I'm not saying that everyone's going to be perfect. I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat your Halloween candy. What I'm saying is make the good choices to balance when you do have it for yourself, and that way too you're going to be a great model for your kids. If you're going off plan and having a few treats, some of them might call you on it if they know you're looking to lose some weight, or if they know you're looking to get better health. They might call you on it and say, hey mom or dad, what are you doing having chocolate? How come you can do that? You just tell them, hey, this is my carb, I'm having my protein with it. This one's my carb and fat, I'm having my protein with it. I'm going to balance, I'm keeping my blood sugar stable. And so coach your kids to do that too. Get them to have a little bit of Greek yogurt before they have their treat. Get them to take that boiled egg to school. Get them to take their lunch meat or something like that to school. The lean, low sodium, all that kind of stuff. And then they're having something great quality. They're going to have the treat with it. And bam, they're balanced. Their teachers are going to thank you for it. You'll be thanking yourself for it, because they won't come home all strung out and having those sugar crashes at the end of the day either. So it's beneficial to all, not just to your body inside, but to their school day, your home day, and you'll get a lot less cranky kids, let me tell you. So coming from a mom who knows, and someone who's worked in a school with a lot of kids all at once, trust me, we've done this. It works. So implement it in your home and see how well it can work for you. All right, everybody. So next week, join me live on Facebook. I encourage and invite everyone to join my 8 Weeks is All It Takes Facebook group, because I will be coming to you live from the group next week. So if you're not belonging to the group, you won't see what we got to say to you, because we're putting all the exclusive content into the group. So please share it with others. Whether you're a client, whether you're living the program, whether you're just curious about better health, whether you want some great recipes to share, or just to be a part of something that's really positive and working towards better health, we are it. So go to 8 Weeks is All It Takes on Facebook here. Ask to join. I'd be glad to have you, and please bring your friends, because we're a wonderful supportive community group, all on the same journey towards better health. So talk to you next time. Next week we're at 4 o'clock. I have to change the time a little bit for next week, but next week we're going to be at 4 o'clock, coming to you live from the 8 Weeks is All It Takes Facebook group. All right, thanks everybody for joining. Have a happy Halloween.